Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the Vault Excel. Hope you had a wonderful week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Please be safe on your travels. And prayers for Sue. She watches the network from time to time, and she has traveled to Iowa to help her son set up his home where he has just recently moved. Prayers to Miss Sue. And let's get started. Oh, my goodness. This is my Friday rant. I am so sick of these fucking older people in this building asking me, do I live here? Why do you just continuously ask strangers, do they live in the building? It's none of your business, first of all. Last night, I decided to wash the towels I bought from Walmart, which is almost like a waste of time because they still shed for some crazy reason. But anywho, I decided to wash those towels, and the pillow that I said I was going to show you all that I got from the thrift store on Wednesdays, thrift find, thrift haul. Elevator door opens. She walks into the elevator, pushes the button to where she's going, and asks me, do I live here? Hello, Linda. What is the point to this conversation? I mean, explain it to Queen. Please, somebody make me understand how this is any relevance to anything. Boom, elevator door is open. She walks in, hits her button, looks at me. Do you live here? Well, you should know Queen has not been feeling the best this week because I've been trying to purchase a car and I'm having hell trying to purchase a car. And so I had a lot on my mind this week. So I was just trying to relax when I got home from shopping. I'm not trying to be interrogated by the building police. I just looked at her. And I think my look gave her the answer she was looking for. So I said, why? Oh, I've never seen you before. So it had to dawn on me that, yes, crazy bitch, you have seen me before. You've given me a ride to Walmart before. That's when I realized who she was. Now, some people may not recognize me because I've dyed my hair. But I'm still black, I'm still tall, I'm still a heavyset lady. What the fuck has changed? Hair dye. You don't recognize a person because they've dyed their hair. Why not just say you look familiar? Hi, how are you doing? Gosh, you look so familiar. And then maybe I'll sit and think along with you and say, oh, yeah, we met a few weeks ago. First of all, if somebody knew that this wacko had me in her car, they'll say she's the fucking crazy one. They'll say, you don't even know that that lady was in your car a few weeks ago? The hell's wrong with you? And I hadn't seen her since that day. So I can say the same. My memory was displaced because, quite frankly, the only thing I was focusing on was getting off the elevator and going and minding my damn business. I do not know how many times these fucking older people keep asking the same question. Every time the door opens, you're either getting on the elevator, they have to ask. I have been asked this question, I know, at least 4 or 5 times since I've been living here in November. And I can honestly say at this point, 6 months in, I do have, excuse me, I do have a right to be fucking annoyed. Stop asking in the building. How are you going to know everyone in the building? You're going to have an idea of people who live in the building if you are congregating with people on a daily basis. Meaning, you're congregating in our outside areas, and we have several areas where you can sit and talk and look at the sky and stargaze. We have a patio, a private patio on a different floor. You can sit out there and stargaze. And we sometimes have little functions where they have us gather. So still help me understand. It's dark 30, elevator doors open, you walk in, you see a black woman in the elevator, and you're going to ask, do I live here? Hello, bro. And yet, I have been in your company. Matter of fact, I bought her some half and half milk from Walmart weeks ago. But yet, she don't know who the fuck I am. Let me tell y'all something. Most of you know me who follow this network. I'm feisty. I get irritated very easily. Please stay out of my damn way. Just stay out of my damn way. This is the very reason why the assistant manager told me not to mingle with nobody in the building. That was the first thing said to me after signing the damn lease. Hello, Sia. And that's, to me, sad. Because that's not something you should be saying to your tenants after they sign their lease. That'll make somebody think they're living in a bad place. But I get it. It was the same direction at the last jungle gym I played on where I used to live, and it was much worse than this place. This is more mild because we have a kick-ass type landlord that I know. I met her many years ago because she was a brief manager at a property I lived years ago. So I know how she works, and she ain't going to put up with your SHIT. I can tell you that now. She's short, to the point, boom, boom, boom. But it's rude. I get it. And I say this all the time. I might misconstrue things that people mean. It's probably my personality. My personality is not going to change. We're just going to leave it at that. I ain't going nowhere. I'm 55. It ain't changing. I'm not even going to worry about it changing. Because frankly, my personality don't have nothing to do with you asking me, do I live in the building? You don't even know me, so you don't have no business asking. You see me in the building. Okay? Hello, Lisa. Stop asking people that. It's rude. Nobody wants to be interrogated as soon as the fucking elevator doors open. If there's a function down in the day room and you see somebody and they walking in, you're asking, are they new? You're supposed to greet a person first. So let me say that. When the elevator doors open and Boo Boo the Clown walked in, she should have said, good evening, how are you? And I would have replied, I'm good, how are you? That should have been the end of the conversation. You don't even know if I live here or not. So I told myself, the next motherfucker that asks me, do I live here? I'm going to tell them, yes, I do live here. I am working undercover for the Knoxville Police Department. I bet you'll shut your ass up then, won't you? And I bet you'll go back to the office and say, oh my gosh, I'm at an undercover in the elevator. And they're going to describe me. And I bet you they'll even go look at the camera and say, well, do you remember what time it was? Because they're going to be curious. And then they're going to see that it's Angela. And the first thing they're going to all do together is bust out laughing, saying, that damn Angela, she knows how to get them. Oh, mark my words. Mark my words. The next person that asks me, that's exactly what I'm going to say. I'm working undercover for the Knoxville Police Department. What can I help you with? So anyway, after I said what I said to her, why? And she said, oh, I was just asking. I had never seen you before. My elevator doors open on my floor. I walked out and the other side of Queen came out because I knew she was going to come out. And I made sure to wait till I got out the elevator. And I just said, rude. And kept on pushing. And she might have said something in the elevator. Because I was waiting to see if she was going to say something before the doors closed. I don't really give a fuck. Don't ask me nothing about me. Don't ask me nothing about me. See, this is the very reason why we were warned not to mingle with people, for this very reason. Because you have people who just have to know every fucking thing. And I've learned it ain't even an age thing. Older people tend to be more nosy. But this lady is not what I consider really old. She's probably early 60s. And everybody, of course, have their own definition of what older is. Don't get me started on that. But the thing about it is, I'm seeing this time and time again, this elevator business. It's like a cocoon. You get in there, it's like they're so glad you're in there, they can't wait to ask a complete stranger questions. It's almost like bullying. You know what I mean? Okay, the doors are closed. Let's pounce. Honey, you don't want none of Queen. I'm trying to tell you. Doors open, doors closed, doors off. I'm not what you want. Please, stay out of my damn lane. I remember a few weeks ago, a guy on my floor was coming in the elevator with a bag of food and a drink, I think. And I was getting off the elevator. Okay? So I'm getting off, he's getting on. What did I hear? I hear somebody say to him, "Do you live here?" And they start saying something else. Why? Why are you asking a complete stranger as soon as they open the fucking door? He lives here. He's been here longer than me. I could have yelled back, yes, heifer, he lives here. Why are you asking? And then I think she was asking him about something because he was, holding some food. So I don't know if she was trying to see. I think I also heard her say, "Oh, do you work for such and such?" Why? Because he's carrying food in his hand. You assume what? He's the delivery guy because, naturally we're in a world where everybody likes to do deliveries. We've got DoorDash, different companies, where people deliver food, Walmart, all that type of stuff. But the point is, here it is. Somebody who lives in the building, going to the elevator, trying to get where the hell he's going, and you're worrying about where the fuck he's going and who he is. This is why a lot of these people do this. A lot of these people, this is all they have to do is ride the motherfucking elevator up and down the floors, asking complete strangers that get into the elevator who they are. Even if they see you with a laundry basket, which I had on my little roller cart thing, my little roller aid I use to, carry groceries and different things around in a heavy laundry basket. It gets heavy. It's easier just use my little roller aid thing and carry it around. If you see me with both of these things, why are you asking me, do I live in the damn building? Where do you think I'm going? You think I came here from New York to wash clothes? So, you know what I said to myself? You know what, Queen? The best way to combat ignorance is to respond ignorance. Now, somebody else say, "Now, Angela, that's not right." Oh, hell yeah, it is. So, next time you ask me, I'm going to tell you I work for the police department. Next time I'm going to tell you, no, I just flew in from Chattanooga and I decided to wash my clothes here. The hotel I'm staying at, I didn't want to wash my clothes there. Somebody told me to drive on over here and break into this locked building to wash my clothes. There just comes a time in life when you have to just shut the fuck up. We're not in a board meeting. We're not in a AA meeting to where you're nervous. You don't know what to say to somebody. So you just spew out any damn thing like a nervous kid. We're in an elevator. And just because the elevator is a part of the apartment building, it does not give you a right to interrogate innocent people. We have a lot of people that live here. There's no way you're going to see all of these people that live in this fucking building. Because common sense will tell you a lot of the people might be bedridden, they might have been in assisted living, or they might have been in a nursing home, came home, travel over here, stay with a friend, stay with a boyfriend, girlfriend, come back home. You don't really know because people come and go living in apartment buildings. It's common sense. But you don't have to know who I am. It's none of your business. And I'm telling you, you all know how I am. Yes, I do get offended easily. That quirk comes from childhood. Deal with it. I'm not going to sit here and every time I get in a fucking elevator, I got to explain to a complete stranger who I am. I'm not going to do it, and I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Hello, Wicked. And then when I was in the laundry room the other night, this little lady comes in. She's seen me before. We, say hello. I could see her eyeing me up and down, up and down. She's at the far wall, getting her clothes out the dryer. And I'm thinking to myself, and what do you want, little person? Now, what the fuck you got to say? Because you can tell when people want to say something or they want to ask something. But why are you looking at me? You're doing your laundry. I'm doing mine. Is it because I look younger than some of you? You're wondering, why is she here? Well, we have all types of people that live in the building. We have all different age groups that live in the building. So that's one thing that everyone needs to stop doing, is stop profiling. Okay? Leave that up to the police department and the sheriff and the state troopers. We don't need people profiling people in the building. We all were qualified to live here, so fucking deal with it. But that's just my rant today. It really pissed me off last night because I was like, I've been trying to digress, get over this, stress of trying to find me a new truck. And then I come home trying to wash my fucking towels. And this is what I get for hanging out at Walmart all night, is to come home and be interrogated by nobody. Now, I'm sure when she sees me next time, she'll probably want to say, I just want to apologize to you for that day in the elevator. And then you know what Queen gonna say? I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna tell you something. You ought to feel crazy asking any damn way, considering I met you recently and you gave me a ride to the store. So I don't understand why weeks later you can't recognize who the fuck I am. That don't make no sense to me. How could you forget somebody after a few weeks? We're not talking about a couple of years. You forget that you gave somebody a ride. It was just a few weeks ago. So help me understand. And then I will say, and also it's rude. You and a lot of people have a very bad habit of approaching people when they're entering the elevator, and that's not the way you greet people. You're supposed to say good morning, good afternoon, have a good night. You don't ask a person a personal question as soon as the fucking elevator doors open. So I tell you what, I already got my answers ready for the next cuckoo bird that wants to play I Spy. I'm either going to say, I work for the police department and I'm working undercover, or I'm going to say, no habla inglés, or I'm going to point at my ear that I'm deaf. And that's no disrespect to any persons that are deaf. But it's to teach people a lesson that you don't ask strangers personal questions. Thank you, sweetheart. I will. Thank you so much, honey. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. You have got to learn when to stay out of people's business. And this is where they got this nosy Ken Karen notation from. Calling people Karens, Kens, and you could be any race, quite frankly, be a Karen or a Ken. You're just somebody who just likes to meddle. And a lot of people are like that. I've even noticed some of you in the chat are like that. And I'm trying to tell you, it's a dangerous thing. And when I talk to you all on this network, I try to bring you what I know to be the truth. May not be your truth, but it's my truth. And anytime I talk about something and I give you a for instance, it's because I've experienced something to give you that information. And I keep preaching the same damn thing on this network. You need to tread very lightly out here because you don't know people. You don't know the mood that a person is in, what they're going through. You don't know how they're living. And then all of a sudden, you just up one day decide, I want to be a nosy Karen and ask somebody, do they live in the building? Now, what if I just wowed it out in that elevator with her? What if I was a mental patient and just wowed it out? Just started screaming and hollering at her. What the F you care? Da, 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 da. Hemmed her up. I'd be the one going to jail. And you have a lot of people who are mentally ill. So this is why she should know better. She should know there are people in this building that are mentally ill. I wouldn't say anything out of the way to somebody, especially somebody I don't know. I'm not going to say anything to you, but hello, goodbye. If I don't want to speak, I don't speak. I don't know. There's just something about the South that people just can't contain themselves. And we tend to joke more, ask personal questions, even if it's not warranted, nobody's revealed anything worth asking a question. It's just something people do here in the South. But I always say it's still disrespectful. Now, I can joke with people occasionally, kind of like when I was in Goodwill the other night. And the girl behind the counter kept yawning. So, Queen finally said something. I said, honey, you need to cut that out. And she still was, mouth open like a hippopotamus, snuffleupagus. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? You ain't had no sleep. You was up all night. What was you doing? Kissing some boy? Now this is where I was being messy, see. And she's like, oh yeah, I know I need to get rest. Blah, blah, blah. So she handled it well, but who's to say? She might have got offended once I walked out of the store. Queen don't care. You know why I don't care? Because one, I'm spending my money. Two, it's nasty to see your mouth wide open at the register. Sienna says, we are intrusive sometimes. This is so true. Yes, people in the South are very intrusive. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. The things that we do here in the South, you could not do up north. You could not do on the East Coast. You could not do in Chicago. You'll probably end up at the emergency room. And that's something I learned as a child growing up. My mother did not want us going to people's houses, bumming, begging, borrowing. And you spoke when spoken to. And that's why I say we live differently now. Everybody is wide open. So it don't even matter if you came from New York, Chicago. The game is different. I don't know what it is. It's something in the water, something in the soil. Everybody is free with information, free with telling their business, free with talking about this and that. And sometimes, I can be chatty. I'll chat with you in the laundry room just to keep the momentum going because I know you want to talk any damn way. So I'll give you what you want. First thing I'll say, oh, do you watch the news? You heard of the Nancy Guthrie case? Oh, I throw it out there. I just want to see if people watch the news. I'm curious. Excuse me. Quip back a few times, about the storyline in the conversation. But the point I'm trying to make is that you just have to be careful in asking people personal questions. Because in the end, people have a right to privacy. It does not matter that you're in a close space with a person. It does not matter that you live on the same block or you live in the same apartment building. You don't have no right to just go up to a complete stranger asking them questions. And you have a lot of nosy neighbors. They're the same way. They see you've moved in, see you moving in. They'll come right over while you're moving your stuff in. And they're 2-3 houses over. You don't have any business doing that. You don't have any business doing that. You see a person moving in, why the fuck you over there bothering them? Leave them alone. Let them put their stuff. Let them get their damn stuff in the house before you start asking them personal questions. Now, you see them walking their dog day 5, and you're walking your dog, or you're walking by them. Okay, now you can ask. Ask your nosy damn question. Hi, how are you? I'm Mildred. I saw you moving in the other day. And then we wait to see what this other person's going to say and respond. They don't seem like they want to talk, then leave their ass alone. Because everybody's not talkative. And that's what a lot of people need to understand. They like to talk. Everybody's not in a chatting mood. And there's days I'm not in a chit-chatty mood. I don't want to talk. I don't want you asking me personal shit. I'm trying to get to where I'm going. I'm in a hurry. I got stuff to do. But yeah, that's my rant for the week. Stay in your lane. Know when to be quiet. You don't have no business asking strangers personal questions. It's just the way it is. You know, it'd be a different thing if I was in there wilding out, beating on the walls. Then you want to say, hey, do you live here? But then that's probably not a good time to ask either, now is it? It's not. Just pray for me, everybody. I can honestly say that God puts everything in his hands at his time. And I have said that to myself this week. I said that to myself about moving here. This was one of my top choices 2 years ago when I was out looking for a place to live. And God said, obviously, I'm not ready for you to go there yet. I got work for you to do. I got some more healing for you to do. More things for you to see, experience, more nonsense. Okay? But all in all, everything's on his time. So I'm finally here. Okay? It's a nice place. It's a great place. It's a safer place. There's no riffraff. There's nobody hanging outside. There's nobody banging on doors trying to get in like the last place where I lived, where it was all the riffraff and people high on dope trying to get in the buildings and begging and bumming and sleeping outside. We ain't got that type of party here. They take care of this property. They have little things they give out free. We have a lot of free amenities living in the building. Only thing really you have to do here is just breathe and pay your rent. Other than that, everything's free. So God is good. Okay? God is good. So I really can't complain. That's the only thing that bothers me about this place. And naturally, anywhere you live, you're going to have a complaint or two. That's just life. And then the guy upstairs, he likes to bang around late night, drill shit. And that's one problem I've had everywhere that I've lived. I'm very sensitive to noise. And that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like a lot of banging, slamming, especially when it's late. You understand? So anybody would be upset. A motherfucker gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning and decides they want to build a bridge. They want to drag their chairs across the floor. You should know better. Your mama should have taught you that. Hey, it's a.m. Pick that fucking chair up. Don't drag your dining room chair from under the table. Pick it up. It's a.m. Somebody's under you. Common sense. But see, when you're around people who aren't used to anything, obviously they have not had proper home training. This is what you get. And that's something I'm also learning about here in the South. And I hate to say it because, no, I don't hate to say it because somebody needs to hear it. Some of you here in the South need to quit judging people that live in New York, Chicago, LA. You act just like the motherfuckers from there. The only difference is you have a Southern twang. But you're rude, you're obnoxious, you're honorary. You're low rent, you're uneducated. I'm saying it. I don't give a damn who don't like it. I can say it about this town I live in, Knoxville, and most people will agree. Nobody tell me that I'm lying what I'm getting ready to say. This is a transient city. Knoxville has become a transient city. It is full of transient, homeless people, vagabonds. Every few feet, there's somebody drifting by your feet that does not have a home. And they're begging and they need this and they're talking to themselves. It's sad. They're on drugs, they're on alcohol, they have mental problems, and they don't mind letting you know. And that's all I see in Knoxville. I'll sometimes even see it in the building, or especially the last building I lived in. The people that lived in the building, they were from the street. That's why they always had problems. It was always something going on because they don't know how to live. And you'll see a lot of that here in the South, especially in Knoxville. These people are poor people. And I'm not here to judge poor people because I consider myself a poor person, but I do not have a poor person's mentality. That is the difference. My pocketbook don't define my mindset. And that is where a lot of people have problems. They let their pocketbook define also their mindset. See, you can live rich in your mind, and a damn thing wrong with that. You can walk outside that door and look rich, but you ain't. And Queen is good at playing the role. I've been told it a million times. Oh my gosh, I thought you was a CEO or something, or you worked over here, or you did this, and nope, I'm just a regular old Jane. It's all in how you carry yourself. And that's something that people don't seem to understand. When you step outside your door, you are representing yourself. How you talk, how you act, how you respond. So you're walking out here, cussing and fussing, hair all on top of your damn head, smelling like liquor, smelling like cocaine, smelling like weed. Well, you're sending a message to the universe. And I'm going to say this, some of you don't care. You don't mind smelling like marijuana. Well, first of all, you're putting your business in the street. Because guess what? Somebody's going to respond to that. Woo! You smell good. And the only person going to say that is somebody who's a smoker. I, for one, ain't a smoker, so I'm not going to tell you that you smell good. Checkmate. But you send a message to the universe. Every day you step outside your door. Be it inside on the apartment building, out to the pavement. How you look, how you talk, how you dress. Your image is everything. And some of you don't understand that. And some of you don't care. And that's where we have the problem. And so it's common sense. If you don't care about yourself, you can't care about me. And I have to keep telling myself that in every situation in life. Whether I'm at the grocery store, the dollar store, somebody I'm talking to in a conversation, somebody I'm interested in, I always have to remember, if you have shown me signs you don't care about yourself, I shouldn't expect no more or no less from you. Always remember that. Because I have a habit of dealing with shit that I know I don't need to be dealing with personally with people, expecting them to be different, expecting them to change. There's not going to be no change. Just like I just sat here and told you, I'm 55, I ain't changing. Well, then I shouldn't be expecting this other person to change. They like being their stupid self. So I'm going to let them have that, okay? I'm going to let them have that. And that's what we all need to understand about people. They rarely change. So everything's about your perception and your response. Have you thought about moving to another state? Well, Sienna, yes, I would love to go to Georgia. I said that to Sue this week. But Sue was one of the fans of the network. She was like, well, you've got it good there in Tennessee. And you said, you really, are comfortable in the building and everything. You probably should stay. Because I already know, as I was listening to somebody's podcast yesterday or the other day on YouTube. Yeah, it was earlier about this lady moving to Jamaica and realizing she's having all these problems. You can psych yourself up to go anywhere if you've got the means, the resources, but you just don't know what it's going to be like when you get there. And I already told Sue that would be the only thing that would keep me from going to Georgia now is the crime. You know, I would like to live in Metro Atlanta, outside Atlanta, but the crime is bad down there. That would be the only problem. I'm not trying to go and hand myself over to a thug. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hand myself over to no damn thug. I'm not trying to give myself a new problem. And I'm not saying that I couldn't get assaulted here. I couldn't get beat up here, robbed here. But I know my chances are greater in Atlanta. That's the point. And I'm really not wanting to be having to deal with that. Looking over my shoulder every 5 seconds. Can't go to the grocery store. Got to worry about somebody, you know, trying to hand me up, putting my things in the back trunk and all that. I don't feel like dealing with all that. I do good to get out of bed. And yes, my life is very comfortable. God has blessed me. There's no way at the point where I am today and how I'm living today, I'm living better than I have in a very long time. I know God put me here because it's just like what it said in the scripture about claiming it, speaking it, and claiming it. I spoke it. I claimed it years ago. And at one point, I didn't think I was going to ever get in here. And I just said, well, I don't know. These people are acting strange. And then one day, poof, out of nowhere, they called me. Damn near about to beat me over my head, beat my head in with a hammer trying to get me in here. I was like, what is the deal? I would hate to give up this cushy place to go somewhere where I'm going to have to spend more money to live to only be damn miserable. And the one point I'm trying to make is sometimes you run to places thinking it's going to be better than where you came from. And it's not, because as I was listening to this guy's podcast today, he had a woman on there giving her testimony about moving to Jamaica. It's a Black lady. And I was already knowing what she was going to say before she said it. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I already knew what she was going to say before she said why she's having a hard time adjusting in Jamaica. All you have to do is use common sense. Number one, Jamaica is an island. Jamaica is not America. Poor people live in Jamaica. Come on with it, Queen. Those poor people are wanting to be where the fuck you just left. Why would you want to settle in Jamaica? Then she tells us she's not rich. She has Wi-Fi troubles. Can't get phone service. She can't get health care. People ain't understanding her what she's asking for. Language barrier. Things she's trying to buy and purchase. She has a hard time. You're on an island. So it's no different than Jamaica, Bahamas, Hawaii. And Hawaii is a part of the United States. But the way it's situated, to me, it ain't really a part of the United States, in my opinion. Because I'm not about to give you $15 for a bottle of Tylenol. So you in Jamaica, it's going to be the same damn thing. Everything's got to be shipped there. So it's going to be higher. Even though most of the shit we use is from China. But we still can afford some of those items. You understand what I'm saying? She ain't in that place no more. She's not in America where she could drive and go from store to store, store to store, store to store. Especially if you live in a big city like Chicago, New York. You got a dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Pookie's dollar store on every corner. You don't have that anymore. You got to worry about health care. You got to remember, you're in a poor man's land. Yeah, the people go there spending all their money to be there at the hotel and the resort. But that is temporary. That's not how the country people live, you see. The country people are poor. They're poor. And they would love to get off the island. Isn't that amazing? People got money to go hang on an island, resort, buy a boat, live on the boat. But you got people that are living there, they're dying to get off that island. It's a crazy irony. Kind of like Mexico. Mexico's a prime example. You go to Mexico and get sick, have a car wreck, aneurysm, you got to pay out of pocket for that hospital bill. But they ain't letting your ass out of there. Okay? Now, Who the hell wants to go somewhere on vacation, get sick, get hurt, and now you can't even leave the country because they want you to pay that hospital bill, $6,000, $7,000, whatever it costs. So that's showing you right there what the country is about. They're poor. They are poor. So then you're telling yourself, well, if you're charging me $7,000 for this hospital visit, what are you charging the people who are from here, who are poor? They ain't got $7,000. So what are they doing? You all just letting them die? What is the exchange for coming in here to the hospital? Because you got to use common sense. What is the hospital getting from these poor people who ain't got nothing? Always think about the pros and the cons of moving. And I would tell anybody that. You need to know the place where you're going. You need to know about the health care, what they offer. You need to know what type of assistance they offer, public assistance. You need to know what the government's like, stuff that nobody thinks about. Because let me tell you something. I live in Tennessee, and you can go 30 minutes over to a whole nother jurisdiction, and they do shit totally different, such as in Blount County. They want to charge you to use your debit card, credit card to pay your fucking light bill. Come again? Why are you charging me a fee when I'm trying to pay you my damn light bill, trying to pay my light bill? Now, over in some other counties, Knoxville, Anderson, not really sure because things may have changed, you don't get charged a fee for using your debit card, credit card. See, everybody is different. Some may charge you a deposit to turn on your lights, depending on your credit. Some may not. Most companies, they want a deposit. And even if you've lived there recently, that's even more crazy. Let's say you move from a county and then move back 2-3 years later. Your name is already in the system. You've already paid your last bill before you move. You in good standing with them, but you double back to that city, let's say 3-4 years later, they still charging you a fucking deposit to turn your damn lights on. Even though you've had service with them and don't owe them no money. That's in Anderson County. See, different rules, different folks. And those are the things you need to know when you're moving. How much is it going to cost for me to get my lights on, my gas on? Do they have gas? Do they have electric? Some counties offer electric with gas, some don't. You need to know that. You need to know that. Will I be paying for water? Or will the water be included in my rent? A lot of these small towns, jurisdictions, you got to pay for water, and it's in your electric. It's included with your electric. Now, you live in certain type of buildings like what I'm living in, the water is included. Thank you. That's why I like this modern living. I don't want to pay for water. Hello, America is surrounded by water. The United States and the whole damn country. We're surrounded by water. Why am I paying for water? I get it. You got to try to purify and make it clean. That's a whole other story too. You just got to learn where you're going. But thanks for that question. Because yes, I was pondering this week getting the hell out of here. I said, well, Queen, you got a little resources now. You might be able to pick up your stuff and go somewhere else. I might. As time goes by, I might change my mind. I might. But I always said that if I moved, I still would want to, I still would want my address to say Tennessee, which means I want to live in the state of Tennessee, but on the Georgia borderline, if that makes any sense. I can cross over into Georgia and shop and hee-haw ass around for the weekend and then crawl my butt back in my car and drive up to the state of Tennessee and live happily ever after. Excuse me, I had to take a cookie break. How are you all doing down in the chat? Just be your best self if you can. I'm not your mother. I'm not your guardian. I don't have a key to heaven. I'm not perfect. I just try to bring you a little bit of knowledge on this network. Basically trying to teach you not to have the mistakes I've learned in life. That's why I like talking to young people, because they need to hear it. They need to know how hard it is out here. They need to know there's going to be a day that they're not going to have anybody to support them. There may not be any friends. Your friends are going to change. Your family's going to change. Your health is going to change. You're jumping around at 22 right now, but by the age of 40, you may not be able to really walk. May not be able to talk. Might have eyesight issues, hormonal issues, female issues, cancer, anything can happen to you. Think about all the people walking around famous who now, they're not old. They might be 50 plus, but they have health problems. I see a lot of that now. Actors who I haven't seen in a long time, now they've got serious ailments. And I'm sure they're looking back on their life like, God, what happened? I was so healthy 20 years ago. I was doing good. I was making money. Now I'm in a wheelchair. See, you don't know where you're going to end up. Thank you, Julia. You just don't know where you're going to end up. So this is why I like talking to young people. Live your life. Every person I meet, young, like the guy who was working in the car thrift store where I bought the pillow from, and that little makeup caddy and those slides. I asked him if he was a UT student. He said yes. I asked him what did he major in. What is he majoring in? He said finance. I said, yeah, you'll always have a job. Take care of yourself and do well in school. Because, the young people here, they donate their time at the Carm store, probably to get credits, for graduation, high school, and college. So he'll probably do well in life. But who's to say 20 years from now where he'll be? All I know is he might end up a drug addict, might end up a drunk, might end up being an abuser. See, you don't know. You don't know where people are going to end up. But children need to have some discipline instilled in them. They need to know what's out here. They need to know that how you're living today, you may not be living like that tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed. That's the life lesson. That how you start is not how you're going to finish. Okay. Most of you know I've been trying to veer away from true crime. So that's why I kind of did this little story, about stupid neighbor issues. And I'm not going to hold you all because I'm trying to preserve my voice, but since I was sick last week, I just need to work on, not talking so long during the live streams. But I got a notification today about a story that happened in Greene County in 2022, April. I don't remember it because usually I keep up with some of the news stories that go on here in Tennessee. Long story short, a young boy, he probably about 16 years of age, Caucasian. He is currently attending court for the unaliving of his brother and his grandmother. Okay? So as I was reading the information or listening to it play out on the video, first thing I was saying to myself, let me play this so I can get a gist of what's going on. So I played it again so I can make sure I repeat the correct information. Why would you unalive your grandmother and your brother, your baby brother? He's claiming he did not do it. He claims he gave a false confession to the police because he just wanted to get out of there, which I never can understand false confessions because common sense should tell you once you confess to murder, you're not getting out of there. I always tell people to think about the information. You're tired of somebody asking you questions. By law, you have the right to remove yourself from the room if you're not being arrested. That's the law. And if you are tired of talking to someone and you don't know the law, you ask, am I being arrested? They're supposed to tell you, no, you're not. We just need some answers. Then you say, well, I don't want to talk anymore. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm hungry. May I leave? They are supposed to tell you yes. So I'm trying to understand all these weird people out here in America who have confessed to murder but didn't do it. You felt pressured, you felt this, you felt that. So you said, well, I just want to get out of there. I just went on and gave them what they wanted. No, you just put yourself in prison. That's what you did. You just gave yourself a jail sentence. So we've got a 20-something-year-old man saying he didn't kill his grandmama and brother. We've got a witness who was in the juvenile detention center with him that says he did confess to unaliving his grandmother because she took away his phone. We also get information that he killed the brother because the brother witnessed him kill the grandmother. Put this on paper now. But yet he has testified in court as of yesterday. It was all a false confession. Witnesses lying. He lied. He did not unalive his family. What say you to chat? I'm just trying to understand unaliving your family because of a phone. But we heard that little girl did that down in Florida a while back, remember? Her and her grandmother were arguing about the cell phone. She came over here from overseas with her dad. I think the mother was still back in another foreign country, and the daddy was living with the grandmother, which that didn't make no sense to me. Why is a grown man living with his mother and a teenager, preteen? And you leave her alone one night to go do something, go to work or do something, and she has bludgeoned your mother to death. They woke everybody over a damn phone. And that was recently. Now we have this case that came out of Tennessee in 2022. Juvenile unaliving his grandmother over a phone. And I don't know how he unalived her. I didn't even Google to find out because I'm scared to even ask. If he's found guilty, he'll probably never get out unless somebody has mercy on him, the judge, to say, well, he was immature. He didn't know how to deal with his emotions. We'll let him do at least 40 years. He can still be a young man or a middle-aged man when he gets out. What do you think? The reason why I know he knows better, he knew better, right from wrong, is because he unalived the brother. Because the brother was a witness. If you were mentally incompetent, you wouldn't have murdered your brother. You murdered your brother to get him out of the way. He was a casualty of war. That shows you knew right from wrong. You knew right from wrong. He says the grandfather did it, and he's just upset that he could not help his grandmother and brother. Well, so where's the grandfather? This alleged grandfather, where is he? Curious. Where is he? The other night, I was watching the interview room, and it got kind of heated in there. Some guy was called in, and I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I knew something was up because Queen is good at reading the room. I'm trying to tell you, I done lived, honey. I was in the bed, lying in the bed, listening to the program. And the first thing I said was, Queen, there's something heavy going on here on this show. Because when you start watching people, you watch everything about them. Their movement, arm movement, eye movement. And I knew Chris McDonough, I believe, was writing something down. And I believe he was sending a note or something, a message to the guys on the panel. So he had Josh up there and he had Bob. I like old Bob. I like the strong, silent type. I said he's sending a message to somebody and it's something going on. And then at one point I thought later on Bob had gave him maybe some type of signal with his hand. He had his hand up by his temple. Could be wrong. Anyway, long story short, Chris ends up asking the guy who called in, what is his name? And the guy wouldn't give his name. But then he said, but I could talk to you in private. See, that told the story right there. You obviously are using a fake name on the panel or as a call-in. Why? Now, some people may not want somebody to know their damn name. As I tell you, we all entitled to privacy. I'm just calling in, so do I need to give my real legal name? Hell no. But people in the chat were saying he was somebody else, and I don't know who this person that they were talking about, but obviously he's been on YouTube, jumping on panels, this and that. But you could feel that something was off. And if you couldn't feel it, that means you in bad shape. You are in bad shape. Because I say this all the time. Some of you can't read a room. And I can read the room just as a listener of the show without looking at the comments. Anybody with sense will know why is Chris talking to this person longer than other guests. That's sign number one. Sign number two, he's asking him a whole lot of questions. Some are very personal, which didn't have anything to do with the Nancy Guthrie case. They woke everybody. That's because I believe somebody sent Chris a message while live that this guy is a fraud or something. And so Chris decided to run with it, as you should. But the point is, hello, Don, you can't expect to get the answer that you're looking for. Because if you are dealing with a fraud, you are dealing with somebody that's psychopathic or a sociopath that likes to play on panels and phone lines, you're giving them what they want. Now, the guy played like a dunce. He didn't know what was going on. He felt like he was a target, all these questions, and where is this going? And I just came to, speak on the case. I do follow it a lot, So he was just playing, allegedly, that he's just interested in the case. He's not there to deceive anybody, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Because in the end, he is just, or was, a voice on the phone. I'm going to speak to that about a voice on the phone. Just like me sitting here behind my picture on this channel, you don't know me. You may have watched me for years, but you don't know me. I may have chatted with you in the comments on the community page, Instagram, but I don't know you. And that's what everybody needs to understand about social media. The game is the same. You don't know who the fuck you're talking to. You all go on and on with each other in the chat like your best damn friends, but you don't know each other, you ain't never met. And this is where the danger comes in. You don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know the stability of the mind. And we're seeing this over and over again with social media. The chat ain't no better than the commentator, which is the channel holder. There are a lot of people who are on a slippery slope. They're 2 minutes from becoming an actual YouTube video news story. I say this all the time because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. People are weird out here. This calling in to the show, jumping on panels. I was thinking about all that while Chris was grilling him. And I've already lived it and been through it. I can think of people who I met who were once in the chat. Next thing I know, they're jumping up telling us they got a YouTube channel on the live stream. Basically, they were just pimping us, pimping me out. And this is what they do. They sit in the chat, go on and on and on and on like they're your best friend. The next thing you know, they go, surprise, I'm a YouTuber, I got a channel. And they just tell everybody, you didn't even know. You catching the news just like everybody else at the same damn time. And then you put two and two together. Oh, so you just been in my chat and my panel or modding. And now you want to tell the world you got a YouTube channel. How convenient. Or you got people that come in and chat, and they love jumping from panel to panel. I've seen that before. I think of a certain female 2 years ago who ended up getting upset. This is around the time when Trump got shot. And she was saying, you need to respect the president, this and that. Well, I had to have some words with her to let her know, you don't tell me who the fuck to respect. I'm a grown-ass woman. You don't tell me who to respect. I'm a Christian woman. And if you claim to be a Christian, you should know better. Respect is earned. You don't tell me who to respect. I know he's the president. What's your point? Or he was trying to be the president, which is whatever at the time. But the point is, you don't give me no advice on who I should respect and like. And I saw her in a different light at that point, Miss Channel Popper. She was always jumping up on other people's panels. She was coming up on my panel talking. And it just took that one time when she had put in the chat something about, you shouldn't say those things about him. You should respect Donald Trump or whatever. And I just gave her the business and let her know, honey, I'm grown. You can't get mad at people because they don't care for Donald Trump. There are people that didn't care for him before he got shot at. So what's your point? But see, you have people like that. Now you want to try to tell me what to do and how to live and how to think. All because this man got shot at by that young kid. Well, there are a lot of people, we already know, don't care for Donald Trump. It's just the way it is. Some don't like Biden. It's all the same. But you don't come in my playhouse and tell me how I should think. And I saw what she was doing. I said, yep, she's another one. All she wants to do is get 5 minutes of attention. Always in the chat, always acting friendly. Then she's jumping up on the panel. Then the next thing you know, you're scrolling through YouTube in the morning, and all you see, she's jumped up there on this person's panel, this person's panel. I was like, what the hell is going on? So I put two and two together. I said, oh, she's just like that other little painted pig. Yeah, I said it. Come in the chat, talking. Next thing you know, they want a mod for you. Then you find out they're modding for some other person's channel that kept up shit. Then the next thing you know, you look up, they're all the way down here in Tennessee, stirring up shit with the whales. And I told the person then, I said, I don't got no shame. I said, if you come into Tennessee to harass Candace and Don, you need not come back to my channel. See, I stand on mine. I'm not like other YouTubers that just talk. I stand on my word. I don't have to like anybody, but I'm not going to go harass them because I don't like them. I live right here in Tennessee. I could have been up the highway every other day harassing the whales or any other person in a news story. I'm not trying to die. But see, this is what happens when you have no respect for yourself. And so I saw him in a different light. When he said, oh yeah, we're going down there to Tennessee, blah, blah, blah. And the one thing I noticed in all that commentary that was going on when they were down here in Tennessee raising hell, I never saw him out there with them. Because you know why? He was a scaredy cat. He laid in the back because he already knew people knew who he was, because he went to jumping on chats, jumping on that girl's channel, always in her background on her channel. And then people would have said, oh my God, look at him. What is he doing over there with the whales? What is he doing over there harassing them? And some of you would have been down for it because some of you with that type of shit. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to go to jail standing outside somebody's house raising hell, their driveway, their job. Hell no. Because I wouldn't want it done to me. Summer Wells is not my sister, my cousin. I'm not related to her. She's not my child that went missing. And I think these people took her. Then yeah, I might have a reason to go raise some hell. I'm just an innocent bystander listening to the story. And this is where I said to some of you that you all are just as crazy as the people in the story. You have become detached from reality and you don't know your place. And I don't respect people who don't know their place. That's my opinion. I'm not getting ready to go out here and aid you in foolishness. I'm not getting ready to go out here and get in no foolishness because of no missing person, dead person. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go throw a microphone in somebody's face, bang on their door, bang on their window of their house, sit outside, camp outside their house, going live. Send notes to their house, letters, send messages to their inbox, messenger. That's psychopathic behavior, and some of you don't get it. This is not a game out here. This is why you keep seeing all these stories of people dead. TikToker found dead, YouTuber found dead, YouTuber found missing, TikToker found missing. Because you can put out in the universe that you want to end up just like the people in the story that you keep talking about. I'm not trying to end up like that. See, karma is a motherfucker. Karma will come home. That's his or her job. You call her he or she. He gonna come home. And some of you don't get that. So that's what I was thinking watching the interview room the other night. I didn't live this already. What the hell's going on with this Chris McDonough and this guy? I have seen frauds in the chat, on the panel, and I never say a word. It might have been only a few times I've called somebody out on a lie. Because I do something that most YouTubers don't do. What a lot of people don't do in life in general, I listen. That's why when I listen to news commentary, I keep playing it over and over and over to make sure I'm getting the information right. I go back and listen to what a person has said. I also listen to what you did not say. And that's how I come to my conclusion and my perception to who you are. And you can learn a lot about people from them typing in the chat. That's why they tell you it's not good to text, because you might send out something that you didn't intend to send, or you said something that was misconstrued, and now you got to try to explain yourself. We have a lot of wacko people out here. We have a lot of people who want attention. So whoever this guy was that called into the interview room, I don't know him. I don't know if he has anything to do with Nancy Guthrie. I don't know if he's involved. I don't know if he's the watcher, he's the chef, he's the butcher, the porch guy. I don't know. I don't know if he's some guy that's been jumping on people's panels. I don't know, but I know how to read a room. And I knew something wasn't right in that chat. He may not have given his real name. Now, for one, if I call in, I'm going to say my name is Angela. But I don't have to give you my full government name. It's none of your damn business. I'm not on trial. He may have been lying up there. That's why I was interested in Chris McDonough kept asking him all these questions. See, Chris is asking questions that he knows if a person is lying or not, because he's going to ask you, well, where you live, where you stay, where you work. Oh, did you know such and such, such and such? That's to catch you in a lie. That's why Chris asked him about the people who own the company, where the guy said he used to work. Chris obviously knows a lot of fucking people in the universe. Now, had the guy stalled, Chris could say to himself, okay, he's not telling the truth about this and this. And then two, I don't know what Chris knew about the caller. Because I really don't know what the hell was going on the other night up there. But I know, excuse me, it was tense. It was very tense. The point I'm trying to make is that everything is, like I said, about perception. You either believe the person what they're saying, or you don't. People will misrepresent themselves for various reasons. And one thing I have learned about being up here on YouTube is that a lot of people just like to do shit for show. Okay? That goes for people posting on Facebook, Instagram, it's all the same. YouTube, a lot of the shit that people talk about on YouTube is just a bunch of garbage. And they get all kind of views and likes. And I'm not no hater, but I do be questioning some of the shit I watch on YouTube. They can talk about stuff when you're sitting here thinking they're getting ready to show you something, and I done watch 8-9 minutes of absolutely nothing. You sitting in front of the camera and you ain't showed me the bedroom, the living room, what you made. I'm looking like, well, I want to see the damn room you did. Misleading. See where I'm going? So if the creator could be misleading, so could the chat member. And I can say I've seen a lot of people in the chat talking over the years. I know they're liars. I can think of one person in particular who follows me. And little do they know that I know they are not a truthful person. And they would be offended if I ever got up on this live stream and told them. Now, I'm going to block you because I kindly warned you years ago about some things you said up here on the network that I did not think was truthful. But I said my piece years ago in a very delicate way. That something about what they said wasn't right. I wasn't mean. I didn't come out and put them on blast like Chris Madonna did that person. And this person is still following my network. And they get in the chat and they always got a story. They always have a story, which kind of reminds me of the kind of people I deal with here in my real life. That's why I know a liar when I hear a C1C. Because I'm dealing with it now. With people who always got a motherfucking story. And those are the people who are always staying in trouble. This person always has a story about this and that and the dog, the cat, the billy goat, their foot, their ankle, their back. And I'm telling myself, I know this shit ain't real. I know this shit ain't real. And I can see how some of you all like to compete with each other in the chat. Yeah, we're going to go there today. Somebody needs to hear it. One person comes in the chat, speaks. They know how to keep it kosher. How you doing, Queen? What's going on? The next person got to come in and tell me why they ain't been in the chat. And this is not to disrespect you. I want to make sure I make this clear. Because you know y'all will unsubscribe. You will come in the chat to tell us, well, Queen, sorry I ain't been on, but I was sick, I was hurt, I had surgery, I had this, I did this. Okay. But then somebody in the chat will respond. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hope you get better. Blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, it's almost like a pissing contest. Excuse me. It's almost like a pissing contest. Now this person's got to tell when they last had hip surgery, back surgery, ankle surgery, foot surgery, head surgery, neck surgery. And then somebody else, they start to chime in. And before you know it, we're not talking about medical history, and we ain't talking about what the fuck Queen is talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's rude. And a lot of you don't get that. You can be very rude in the chat. And I even see it on the Dun show. People were in the chat trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Oh, this is creepy. Where is this going? Why are we talking to this guy? Why is Chris asking him so many questions? When is he going to get on to another topic? Get back to the topic. Because that's how a lot of people are. They want to talk about Nancy Guthrie. They don't want to hear Chris interrogate this guy. That's why I keep trying to tell you, a lot of people can't read the room. Chris had a reason for why he asked that guy 50 million questions, like he was applying for a job, applying to the government. He had a reason. And in the end, finally, Chris just went on and said, who are you? Tell me your real name. I don't think you told us your real name. Told me your real name. And where the guy fucked up is, he said, well, I can talk to you in private. That's where he messed up. See, you just admitted that that's not your real name, Aaron. Because if Aaron was your real name, you have no reason to talk to Chris McDonough in private. Checkmate. What I got to talk to Chris McDonough about private? My real name. And then Chris was asking him all kind of personal stuff. When he work, where he work, what kind of work do we do? Why he work for a company? Do we got a logo? Do we got this? And the guy was like, well, I don't want it out there in public, blah, blah. Oh, I mean, it went on and on. I thought I was going to go around and around in circles. But then I talked to this guy who I know is a bus driver, and he's legit. He has an actual moving company, but he told me he had a bad experience. So he took down his logos off his vans, and he don't have that no more for personal reasons. And he has a real name, real Facebook, real government name used. So you see, everybody does things differently that you may think is deception, but it's not. See where I'm going with this? That's a perfect analogy, Queen. And I just pulled it out the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I talked to somebody about that just not even a week ago. They actually have a legitimate moving business on the weekends when they're not driving the bus, and they drop off furniture, drive people, across states to move or wherever they're going. But he said he used to have a logo on a van, and it started causing problems with people thinking he had money. So I just threw that out there in case this Aaron guy is legitimate. He is a real handy guy, handyman. But see, people are going to question that. And I was thinking the same, watching this lawn care show I watch. Black guy coming in helping these Hispanic guys clean up this yard. Why don't you have a full-time job? You say you got a sick kid in the hospital. Well, why aren't you working? So I'm thinking the same about this handyman. So there's a reason you're a handyman if indeed not legitimate. Because you could be a handyman and be legitimate. Put out some cards with your name on them, get bonded, licensed, solicit yourself on social media, and work your way up. When I think of a handyman who ain't licensed, he ain't bonded, but people know they do odd jobs, that tells me you've got some shit in the bag. That tells me you cannot hold down a regular job. Why? You either have a mental problem, drug problem, or alcohol abuse problem. You want to get up when you want to get up. You want to go to bed when you're ready. You don't want to answer to nobody. You have an attitude problem, perhaps. You don't like people telling you what to do. Come on, Queen, bring it on home. And I was joking while listening to Dundana. That's just my little nickname for Chris McDonough, Dundana. The handyman can. Y'all remember that song about the Candyman? The Candyman can. Well, the handyman can too. People in the chat asking about the girlfriend. Asking about the girlfriend. What does she do? Where is she at? What does she think about Nancy Guthrie missing? Nothing. And he was asked the question, he answered. I guess basically she don't want to talk about it. Hell, does she even exist? So you don't know. Hello, Jasper. Hello, Georgia. Georgia. You're right. Georgia's always on my mind. Shut your mouth. You don't know people. That's the point of the story. And that's what you need to always remember when you are here on this network, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You don't know people. You don't know the people commenting. You don't know the commentator of the channel. You don't know people. And I tell myself, I try not to get myself worked up on the stupid stuff that people say, such as this, and then I'm going to get out of here because I'm talking too long. It's an hour and 19 minutes. Let me address somebody. And I hate doing this, but sometimes it needs to be done. That way people who don't know me can learn me and say, well, I like her, I don't like her. It's up to you. I have a video up about David and his parents building a monster. And somewhere in that commentary, this dodo bird thinks I'm saying that David's parents are the reasons Celeste Rivas is deceased. Did I tell you that in the video? Did I tell you in my video that David's parents unalive Celeste Rivas Hernandez? No, I did not. If you were paying attention, which most of you do not do, I said they possibly built a monster by how they treated him, keeping him secluded, which led to him having evil thoughts, prideful thoughts that led to the unaliving of a child. That's what the fuck I said. I also said there's a possibility they knew she was a child. Evidence says they were at a concert together. Well, if everybody else assumed she was young, why wouldn't they? See, you don't know what the parents knew. Come on, Queen. Because somebody is still dealing with a second grade brain. You don't know David. You don't know his friends. You don't know his parents. And from the looks of everything, the way he fucking turned out, where do you think he got his sociopathic ways from? Or shall I say psychopathic ways? I blame her parents too. How about that? Possibly blame her parents more than David's parents. I know David unalived her. That's not what the subject of the video was about. The subject was the building of a monster, if you can read it right. And as I responded to this fool, I let them know, look, I'm Queen. I'm going to explain myself. You can't understand simple English? Oh, damn well. What did you say to me? Oh, you blaming David's parents is sick. Now, I got to really think about that now. You blaming the Burks is sick. Well, now I have to wonder if you are a Burke fan. Are you? Are you one of his little cronies that like listening to his demon-fied music and lyrics? And you're angry that David is incarcerated, and also I'm blaming his mommy and daddy. See, if you had any sense about yourself, you wouldn't have even commented on my video. Because the proof is in the pudding. His parents did not even want to go testify before the grand jury about their child, who was accused of unaliving somebody else's child. Why not? And he's been to court recently, and mommy and daddy have been a no-show. Come on, Queen. Because somebody sleep back there in the back row. Why is that, Miss Know-It-All? Since you know more than Queen knows. Why have his parents not been in court? Oh, why has his brother literally cut him off for being accused of unaliving Celeste Rivas? So you don't know what David told his parents about that girl. You don't know what they saw when they met her. You don't know what questions they asked her. You don't know nothing. What I was bringing was the truth. Is that you don't know how he was raised, but it don't look like it was good and in his favor. That's what the video was about. How David came to be. Never once in the video did I say those people unalive Celeste. The video was about how he was raised and how he came to be D4DD. Hello, Pentin. You see, this is something I learned about a lot of people. You all take what you want out of people's videos and you beat a dead horse. And this is what people do in life, especially when it comes to true crime, when it comes to relationships. You take what you want out the story and you beat the horse down, but you don't address everything else that's been said and revealed. And that's what this stupid person did. You saw the title of the video, and obviously you didn't watch the video. Because had you watched the video, you would have known I never said the Burks unalive Celeste Rivas. I said they are possibly the reason that David is in the situation that he's in. But yes, I do know he's a grown up, and he made a grown folks decision by unaliving, dismembering a child. That's already been said. I don't need to clear that up. But don't ever put words in my mouth that were never spoken. And a lot of you got a bad habit of doing that. And you do this a lot to creators. You do it a lot to other people in the chat because you are hearing what you want to hear. Because you know why? Because you're favoring that demon. You don't know nothing about the Burks. You don't know nothing about those black folks to say yay or nay to how they raised their son. And everybody's got a role to play pertaining to Celeste. That's the reason we're here. It's because nobody wanted to be a parent to her. Somebody failed her. Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody said, I'm tired. I ain't worried about it. Too many people were whispering and talking about Celeste being in the company of a grown man, and then you want to come on my channel and tell me I'm blaming his parents? Are you serious? Everybody had a role. Anybody that knew she was a minor, you had a responsibility to alert the authorities. So, baby, don't come in this playhouse unless you want to definitely get your fingers and toes burned. The thing is that criminals came from somewhere. You don't come out the womb a criminal. Now, some may say, disagree and say, well, yeah, you could be born a criminal. Well, you have to prove it. You have to prove that a person was born a criminal, born gay, born mischievous. You got to prove that. You got to prove it. Your background is how you came to be. Your circumstances to how you were raised, how you were talked to, how you were treated, mistreated. All those things form your identity. That's common sense. And that's what the video was about. The video was not to pass blame, but it is what it is. People did know that the girl was a minor. I'm not getting ready to sugarcoat and dust over that. If that's what you're looking for, I'm definitely not your cup of tea, and that's fine with me. But I'm not getting ready to sit here and let nobody put lies in my mouth. I know what the hell I wrote, and I know what the fuck I said in my own video. There were many people who were party to knowing that she was a minor. That has been said. The child was failed. That's been proven, obviously. And yes, he has been accused of unaliving the child and dismembering her and sexual abuse, which I believe all are true, and true. But I also said he more than likely had an environment in his home that helped aid his evil thought process. Because although they preached the Bible or whomever to David and his siblings, he still had an idle mind because he didn't go anywhere and he didn't do anything. And you can't function if you're not integrating into society. You cannot be a successful individual sitting in your house 24 hours a day. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. I don't care if you have a high IQ. I don't care if you can play the violin, the flute, you can play the piano by ear. If you don't go outside that fucking door and get fresh air, you don't ride a bicycle, you don't ride a skateboard, you don't go to the movies, you don't go fishing, you don't do normal human things, you are going to have problems. Checkmate. It is what it is. And I don't think I need to go call Google to prove my point. You are not living sitting inside your house all day. And he was a child. He should have been outside playing with children, doing children things. And that goes the same for Celeste Rivas. Now, I'm off that horse. I'm not going to hold you all, but I came on this live this evening for those who are just now coming in the chat to rant to you all about my experience here at the building. All these nosy neighbors always asking, do I live here? Do I live here? I've seen them do it to other neighbors, and it's rude. So go back to the beginning to get the replay, to get the gist of this video. It's annoying to have somebody ask you the same damn question over and over and over. Every time you walk outside your front door, you get into the elevator, somebody's asking you the same damn question. Do you live here? Do you live here? I don't owe you an explanation about living here. And if you fuck around, you're going to find out. Don't ask me no personal damn questions. And for the record, something I didn't even say at the beginning of this live, but I'm going to say it in this live, and I've said it before. I don't even give my real name. So, Chris Madonna, you definitely wouldn't like Queen. I'm not getting ready to tell nobody in this building my damn name. For what? Why would I tell you my name? Because if you're so concerned with me living here, what would you do once I tell you my damn name? Exactly. Conjure up some foolishness. I go by the same name I give you on this network, Beverly. See, I'm good at reading the room. And how many people I've told that name to, they couldn't remember it. Did y'all hear what I said? And I know some of you are saying, this damn Queen's hell. They can't remember Beverly. One lady said, oh, I think you said Victoria or such and such. Now, Victoria don't sound like Beverly, and it sure don't sound like Angela. So my thing is, hell, if you can't remember a fake name, hell, why give you the real name? Exactly. See, sometimes you got to know when to play the game. And that's what I'm doing. I'm playing a game with a bunch of elderly people who are bored and don't have anything to focus on. So I'm going to give them just what they want until they learn to stay out of people's business and stay out of people's lanes. The next person that asks me, do I live here? I'm going to tell you that I work for the Knox County Police Department and I'm working undercover. Is there anything else I can help you with? Or I'm going to tell you that no habla inglés. No habla inglés. Number 3, I'm going to point to my ear that I cannot hear. Did I straighten that out for everybody? So if you walk by me one day and see I'm talking, you can say, oh, it's a miracle. That's a good one, Queen. Oh my God, you can talk. And then I can still play crazy and say, yes, I can. May I help you? Oh, that day in the elevator, you pointed to your ear when I was trying to ask you if you live here, and you motion like you can't hear. And then I still can play crazy and point right back to that same ear. Stay out of people's business. And if you're listening to this live stream and you're a nosy Karen, a nosy Ken, please stop. It's unbecoming. It is not a good trait to have. You don't want to be known as the person that meddles in people's business. You're always looking for information on people. You got to know everything about people. And as I said, I've seen that time and time again on this network as well and in other chats. You're always looking for something. I get that a lot. Oh, I have to find out. I know. I'll find out. I'll send you this. I'll do this. Remember, I had a wacko from out west. She would wear it out. Instagram. I'll send this. I'll send this. For what? I'm not a detective. I'm not a cop. What is it that you need to send me that's so urgent? What's your email address? For what? So you can repeat the same shit you repeat in the chat? I want you all to understand where I'm coming from. And this is not to berate anybody, but some of you are doing really weird shit that is psychopathic. You want an email to send me information on some shit that you don't know is true or not. Say, whoa. And you want me to climb through emails every day from random people, if I gave the email address out, to hear the same shit you are already saying in the chat. That don't make no sense. Oh, I can send you the link. You hear that a lot during the live. I can send you the link. I can put the link here. No, you ain't putting no link while I'm talking. See, this is what I'm trying to make some of you understand. Some of you are obtrusive. You don't have no boundaries. You are just like the people in this apartment building. You don't have a life. Because what I have to tell myself, if you're doing this about a true crime case, you are doing it in your everyday life. And I know somebody is sick of your ass. I said it. Shut your mouth. Don't get offended. Change it. That's all you got to do is change it. You don't want to be known as a busybody. It's not a good trait. And if somebody told you it is, they lied to you. We gather. This is a place for gathering. This chat, my chat. I'm not like other YouTubers. I want you to come in, feel comfortable, but I don't want you coming in here showboating. I don't want you trying to grandstand the commentator, which is me. I don't want you coming in grandstanding the other chat members. I don't want you coming in here bringing fake information. I don't want you telling me go to somebody else's network to figure something out, find something out. I don't want you putting links in the chat. I don't want you trying to find me to tell me the same bullshit you tell me in the chat. What's the point? And that's something that some of you don't get. You always want an email. You want Messenger. You want this. You want that. For what? What do you need a private number or another way to contact me to tell me the same shit you're telling me in the chat and under the video and on the community post? You got 3 ways to talk to Queen. And yet you'll say, I need an email. What's your IG? What's your Facebook? Hell no, you will never get Facebook, baby. Because I done heard the dirty shit some of you do. And you're not getting ready to be fucking with none of my associates, family members. Because then you and I, we got a personal problem. And that's the side of Queen you definitely don't want. I've seen the dirty shit that you all have done and pulled. I've had other YouTubers talk about the mistakes they made by befriending some of you on Facebook. And they live to regret it. Of course. Because now they got a personal way into your life. And all they got to do now is go in Messenger and start fucking with some of your friends, your sister, your brother, and start asking them questions. And your stupid family start answering. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, you don't know people. Some of you are too invested in trying to learn things about the YouTuber, the storyline, and it's not that serious. And that's what you need to understand about this platform and all the other social media platforms. They are just that, a platform to gather, to talk, swap information. But you do not have the right to intrude on anybody's privacy and spread lies and misinformation. You don't have that right. You don't have that right. And somebody out here needs to hear this. I'll be your friend, honey. And anybody that know me know how I rock. If you're hungry, I'll feed you. If you're thirsty, I'll give you something to drink. You need a shoe, a shirt. Queen got your back, but don't cross me. Please don't cross me. And yes, I get irritated very easily. You know why I get irritated? Because I get irritated from foolishness. And some of you don't really know that you be doing foolish shit. See, I watch a lot of things that you all say in the chat. I watch you when you go to other networks. You don't even know that I'm there. I keep trying to tell people, Honey Queen everywhere. I'm everywhere, even if I don't even turn on YouTube. I'm like the genie in the bottle. It finds me. Because I always got people out here that follow the network that are lurking over here, and they can't wait to come back to share the good news. And of course, that can become daunting and just as messy. I don't want to be in that type of arena. You understand what I'm saying? I've dealt with enough of that with some of the cases I've discussed. The Wells case, Cupcake, Cal City Boys, Sebastian, now this drama here. And I am not trying to be in that arena. I don't consider myself a true crime network. Let me make that clear. This is not a true crime channel. On this channel, we talk about life. We talk about why you had a bad day, why you keep picking the same type of men, why you got so many damn children. We talk about everything. So if you think this is a true crime network, it is not. Let me let somebody know that who is new to the network. We talk about everything. And if you go back to my extensive library, I got more videos than the average YouTuber, but you sure can't tell by my pay. Hint, hint. 6,000 plus videos, raw and to the point. And the live streams consist of many topics, not just true crime. Thank you, Julia. This is a place to gather. We are not detectives. Amen. And I don't portray myself to be one. Because some people get very offended. They come in the chat, they come on your channel, the video saying nasty stuff. You're not a detective, you're not this, you're not a reporter. Who said that I was? And that's another thing I'm sick of. You don't have the right to come onto somebody's video and tell them about what they're talking about. This is something I'm noticing since I've been on YouTube. Why are you offended that I am speaking about Cardi B or this person? Hell, we know not to talk about Cardi B because she likes to sue and take you to court. But she can't even get mad because she is doing something foolish or saying something foolish, and I give my opinion. That's my opinion. And like they say, you don't want somebody talking about you, then sit your ass on down somewhere and be quiet. Kind of like running in the street naked. Come on, Queen, bring it on home. You running in the street naked. And neighbors are looking out the window. Somebody called the police. Somebody filmed it. Somebody put it on social media. Everybody talking about it in the town and everywhere in between. And now you want to get up on social media and cry wolf and say, why y'all talking about me? Why you gossiping about me? Well, why you running in the street naked? Telling your personal business on live streams, which I've done it. So I have to take whatever comes with it, right? You talking about your baby daddy, your marriages, your kids, your finances, this, that, and the other. You in drama every day because you're reporting it, putting it on live streams. And then when somebody tells you about your black self, white self, now you got an attitude. Well, you got to take it because you put it out there. This is why they tell you some things ain't meant for social media. So this goes for regular people. This goes for famous people. Just like I saw a video up on Newsbreak. I'm also a contributor over there. Check me out. Something was said about Cardi B. Too much foolishness going on with her and these men. They told the truth. She could see the article, get mad. Get mad about what? Nobody would know nothing was going on with you, Cardi B, Stephon, Offset, if you kept your mouth and your legs closed. They showed Stephon celebrating his little daughter's birthday. Well, that baby is 6 months apart from the Cardi B baby. So Cardi B done got pregnant, and he already had a fucking newborn. Hell yeah, that looks crazy. I don't give a damn what nobody say. And from my understanding, she's still married. Even though her and Offset and Leslie weren't together. But that's my point. You can't get mad at what you have put out to the universe. Just like somebody came on the channel a while back saying, what you old people doing talking about Cardi B? Y'all love talking about what young folks doing. Excuse me? Who the hell are you talking to? Old folks. Motherfucker, I'm old when I'm buried. How about that? Excuse my language. You don't call Queen old. Only person call me old is myself. You know when I'm old? And I'm going to make some of you laugh because you know I do it. Queen is old on discount day for the elderly. How about that? Hell yeah, I'll take a discount, 10%, 15%. And I'm going to tell you how good I am at playing old. I just bought a ring the other day, and I talked the guy down off the price of the ring. I sure did. I sure did. And he gave me the ring at a cheaper price. Blink, blink. So hell yeah. Senior Citizen Day, I'm all for it. I don't like aging. I don't like this gray hair that's combative like wool. I don't like my wrinkles. I don't like the varicose veins. I don't like the aches and the pains. But guess what? Senior Day, I am happy as a child with a lollipop. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But as for old, I'm not old. I'm older. Let me clarify. And I had to say that to this young guy on the bus the other night. Addressed me as his elder. He was drunk. Somebody had just got off from work. I love my elders. I said, what did you say? Y'all know how Queen get. See, I don't want to get ignorant on the bus because I don't want to end up dead on a bus or in public. But don't address me like that. Now, he saw me last night coming from Walmart. He didn't say a word. He was dead quiet. Thank you. Thank you. You ain't got nothing to say tonight? Thank you. Your mouth closed? Thank you. Thank you. The church says him, amen. Because he saw how I behaved that night and he realized he was disrespectful. He was out of pocket and he didn't have any boundaries. And that's the word I meant to use during this live. Some of you don't have boundaries. So when he saw me last night, he was quiet as a mouse. Because he knew he had acted a fool the other night on that bus, drunk, talking crazy, talking over people. It wasn't but 5 of us total on the damn bus, including the damn driver. The driver was trying to talk. I couldn't hear a damn thing the driver was saying because he wanted to be seen. That's my point in this video. This is the message you are putting out to the universe, that I'm a clown. I'm an ass clown. I ain't gonna let nobody get a word in. I want to be seen. I'm gonna talk over all these people talking. Although I'm the only one talking, it's rude. So when he saw me last night, Julia, he didn't have 2 words to say. And I didn't look at him, and I didn't address him. That's how you treat foolishness. You don't say nothing. Day 2, Queen ain't got nothing to say. What does that say? Nothing. And hell yeah, I like Senior Day. And when I got that discount on that ring, that's the night I got those slides, the makeup caddy, and that pillow. There wasn't no Senior Day on that. That Carm, I don't think they even have a Senior Day. I don't know if they do or not. But yeah, I saw a pretty ring in the counter. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of high. I said, honey, I'm budgeting. And so he talked it down to $10. I said, oh yeah, we'll take it, honey. And it's beautiful too. I'll wear it one day on my live. I got to get another ring to put in front of it because it's a little big. But it was just so pretty. Honey, I treat myself. I tell myself, yeah, I'm supposed to be saving for a car, but if I see something really nice I want and it don't cost a lot, yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, why not? This is just me sharing. Don't get offended by anything said in this live stream. You will only be offended if the shoe fits your big ass foot or your little foot. I joke. Don't take it personal. It's all in good fun and humor, but also I'm also trying to give you some information to better yourself. If it's something you didn't know, something you were doing out here that you didn't think was offensive to others, now you know. There's some people who might be offended by something you're doing and something that you're saying, such as me being up here. There are things I say that some people don't like. They don't like the delivery. They don't like the tone. They don't like the potty mouth. I get it. But in the end, it is my playhouse, and I own the rights to this bad boy, or shall I say, bad girl. It's my baby. I built her from the ground up. And as I told you all on the live the other night, I do not make a lot of money from YouTube. And when you look at how many videos I have, I should be half of a millionaire by now, because I think some of my content is very good, very informative, and yet I don't make nothing from YouTube. This is why I don't feel the need to go live anymore every week, every day. For what? Why am I beating my head against a brick wall to look at the numbers on the video and it says 0? The pay is 0. For what? Hour for hour, talking, like what I'm doing right now. 1 hour and 52 minutes. Talk, and don't even get 1,000 views. And to me, it's disrespectful to me. Hell yeah, like they say, hell, I got feelings too. This is my time, my Wi-Fi. So I want people to think about that. Some of you will sit up and you'll watch the stupidest, craziest shit on YouTube, and you're invested. But somebody else trying to give you some knowledge on something, you don't want to watch that. And that's the whole point, to each his own. But I'm letting you know that this is a gritty business up here. And you got all types of people on social media trying to sell you something, show you something. You either like it or you don't. You may start out liking it, then eventually you don't like it. But I personally don't feel the need to be up here every day anymore. It's pointless now. I don't feel the need. I want to show myself. Some days I don't want to get up, put the makeup on, style my hair. I don't want to do that every day. And I shouldn't have to. And if I got real followers, real subscribers, they're going to follow me. Mask on, mask off. That's how I look at it. I don't need to turn the camera on for what? Maybe I'm in my nightgown, my negligee. Well, you want to see me half naked, going live, hair ain't combed, be the first thing you say. Oh my God, did you see her? She had on a nightgown, no bra, no makeup. Now, you got somebody who'll go live like that, not me. Hell no. I got some pride about myself. I've enjoyed talking to you guys. I've been trying to get off this live for about 40 minutes. And as you know, I'm still rambling. Thank you for the kind wishes last week when I got sick. Very reason why I don't really like being out at night, in the cool air, because I have, I guess now, allergy issues and acute sinusitis, so that air makes me sick. Cool air. And I can't have cool air inside either. I got the air conditioner running, but that thing's gonna have to get cut off because I don't know, cold air and stuff makes me sick, headachy. And then 2, I have to worry about getting a sore throat, which that's what I got last week. And then 2, you have to be careful with all these germs. You're in a public store, you're touching buggies and stuff. You just, too many germs out here. And prayers for this hantavirus. Now a doctor from America has Ebola. They said he can barely walk. It's serious out here. You don't know what you're seeing, smelling, touching. This is why I tell you have to be careful going places, public places. People in Walmart know me personally now. It's like I live there and work there. I told them last night in customer service, why don't you just put me a bed back there? Because I'm in here so much. I'm sick of being in this damn store. Thank you, sweetheart. I decided to change it. Since my hair is short, I decided, just let people see what I look like as I am. Thank you, sweetie. Every day I'm in Walmart. Every week I'm in Walmart. I'm sick of going to Walmart because I've moved closer to Walmart. So now it's just like, Jesus Christ, I'm in Walmart. I never used to shop at Walmart like this. There's only certain things I would buy at Walmart. Now I'm in Walmart like, they gave me a free pass to just come in there. And they did not. And I think I'm going to write Walmart and say, look, I'm in your store at least twice a week. I need something free. I need something free. Let me tell you something else I noticed about Walmart. I ain't going to never get off this live. Okay, there's certain little costume, little necklaces I like that they carry. They were $4.88 about 2 years ago. Now they're $6.88. I'm not about to give you $7.50 for some fake ass jewelry. This is crazy to me. The earrings I like, the big brown ones, the gold, they're, I think, $5.88. It's just like, why is this stuff so high? It is cheap. It ain't made of nothing. And let me tell you something else that pissed me off last night. There's this certain type of necklace that all the famous women are wearing on the housewife shows. It's made like a little leaf, like a little snow leaf, and they've got it in green. I've seen it in blue. I've seen it in white. I think yellow. So if you ever watch Housewives of Atlanta, any of those franchises, all the women are wearing similar jewelry. They just wear it in different colors. Okay, well, last night they had it in opal. But I kept looking at the little card and it said, made with such and such for sensitive ears. And I thought, sensitive ears? This is a necklace. It didn't dawn on me. It had earrings to it. Somebody stole the damn earrings off the fucking card. Well, if you're going to steal the earrings, why you didn't steal the damn necklace too? I just noticed that. I looked at the damn card and didn't even realize the damn earrings were missing from it. And I was like, what the hell? You should just stole the whole damn thing. What you gonna leave take the damn earrings off? Hello? The time it takes to take the earrings off of the card, you could have took the necklace off. That's how stupid people are. Just steal the whole damn thing. Not that I'm telling you to steal, but I'm just saying it didn't make no sense. Just steal the earrings off. And I didn't even pay attention until I read the card that said, this product is sensitive, made for sensitive ears. And I thought, sensitive ears? I said, this is a necklace. And then I looked at the holes and saw, oh my gosh, the earrings are missing. And I was so pissed off because there were no other necklaces and earring set on the wall. And I thought, oh my God, this is a knockoff of the necklaces that the women have been wearing on TV. And I was going to buy it last night. I was going to go ahead and spend a few dollars. I was going to buy it. But I'd have been just paying for the necklace, which I didn't mind because I thought it was just a necklace anyway. Because when you see the women, they'll have the necklace and they'll have the bracelet. And I wanted it in green. Green and gold is what I wanted. I'll take it in green. I'll take it in blue. Navy blue if they make it navy blue. But a lot of famous women are wearing them. And they're also, if you watch any housewife shows, Beverly Hills, Atlanta, you'll see the women wearing the necklaces and the matching bracelets. It's like a little flower leaf type emblem. I don't know what it's called, but it's very popular. And I thought, oh, Queen gonna get her a set. Queen gonna get her a necklace tonight. Yeah, with the earrings missing. Crazy. I'm gonna check out of here. I'm gonna get some dinner. And it's been very gloomy here in East Tennessee. It's been raining most of the days, and it's just been sun had came out a little bit earlier, but now it's gloomy and ain't nothing going on. I'm pretty much settled in. Hell is Hold on a minute. I saw a line going down the wall. Hopefully ain't nothing leaking. Hold on a minute, y'all. Because now my blood pressure about to get up. Hold on. See, I told you, honey, queen eyes good even in the dark. I see something don't look right. Hold on. I gotta go in this living room. I make sure no damn water leaking. Start no mess. Hold on, horsey. Here I come. Hold on, y'all. Something like it's dripping. Okay. Everything's looking good. I think it was a reflection from this metal design piece I got on the wall. It scared me. I thought, oh God, please, no leaks. You know, the last place I lived in, oh my God, kept leaks. My wall was bubbling up in my bedroom and the bathroom. I don't want to see no leaks. All right, everybody. I don't know, it's just, I don't know, reflection or something. But what do you all got plans for this weekend? Anybody going out of town, traveling? Any sport games? Colleges have graduated. UT graduated. High schools have graduated. A lot of parents are very happy to have their children cross the stage. Just pray for their journey. Pray that they don't get in any trouble, and pray the girls don't get knocked up and the guys don't make no babies. That's what I tell you. And I tell my child that too. Don't come back to this house pregnant. You're now a legal adult. Do not come back to my house with a baby. So here's you a prescription for some birth control pills. Here's you a bag of condoms. Use them. And if you like the person but don't want to do nothing, don't do nothing. Let them know. I ain't interested. I ain't ready. You know, you got to talk to your kids. Really, this is a talk you should have with your kids before they get 18. Don't want to send your kids out in the world without any type of knowledge about people and relationships. And, you need to talk to your children. But yes, a lot of young people have graduated from college this week, last week. And we have a lot of children who have graduated from high school this week here in Knoxville. Congratulations to all our seniors who made the journey. 12 years of school, amen. And congratulations to you if you're getting ready to go off to college. And congratulations to those who have finished college, but you may still be getting ready to go to the master's program. Amen, amen, and amen, honey. God is good. Woo, have mercy. To be young again. Lord, have mercy. Do things differently. If I was younger, yes. But would I want to be younger right now? No. No. I definitely wouldn't want to be in my 20s. Let me say that. No. Because right now, I think it's catastrophic for 20-something-year-olds. It's just catastrophic. I wouldn't want to be in my 20s right now. I would want to be maybe 30. 30 with a good paying job, good credit, living. Good health, moving about. But 20, 21, 22, no, I wouldn't want to be 22 in 2026. I was passing by gas station last night. I saw on one of the little one of them little rinky-dink gas stations near the house said 426 regular. Now I was looking out, it was dark when I was looking out the window. I said 426, that can't be right. 426 for gas? Jesus, what? Now imagine you driving a big boy truck, F-150, Dodge Ram, van. You're spending some nice money for petrol. Hopefully things will get better here in America. Because now I'm having to spend a little more money, groceries and things. And, you just do what you have to do. But I tell myself, I don't need a lot of food. I don't need to be eating a lot because I need to lose some weight anyway. So I'll just eat a bunch of vegetables and lean meat. That's fine with me. I'll be cutting back on, stuff like the pizzas and all that old junk stuff. You know, I buy it occasionally, but I won't be eating it as much as I was because I don't need all that stuff. But I am going to have me a salad tonight, and I'm going to saute me some chicken strips, chicken breasts on the stove in oil, season it, and I'm going to put those strips on top of my salad. And that's going to be my dinner tonight. What are you all making? Or what have you all made tonight? Are you going out to eat, ordering out? Some of you got some big money out there. Y'all like DoorDashing, spending money for people to bring your food. If you saw the stuff they be doing and they posted online, I wouldn't order nothing. I would not order food for somebody to bring to my door. And I don't know if I want to eat out anymore. It's because these people are doing nasty stuff. I saw a video yesterday. It was a caption of a manager licking somebody's French fry. Aren't you serious? You put your nasty tongue on somebody's French fry and then you posted it? You took a video or a picture of it? Okay. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about, the world we are in. That's going to be the next live stream. We're going to talk about social media. You know, every blue moon, I bring you a social media segment to this next network. And we're just going to chop up why people are doing the stuff they're doing online. Whether they are 50 or 20 or a teenager, doesn't matter. Why do you feel the need to post stupid, outlandish behavior? Things that can get you arrested, for one. Unsanitary. Why are you posting that? Why are you putting your picture with your name or your profile to post it online as if there won't be any repercussions? Make it make sense, everybody. How are you going to now live? Because I know you've got fired for posting that damn video of you licking a customer's French fry. Make it make sense. Spitting in the bag. I think she also did that. She spit on it and licked the French fry. Why? What did you gain from doing that? Because in the end, let me tell you something. Let's say you had a disagreement with somebody in a restaurant. They didn't like the hamburger, the fries, this, that. Okay, make another one. It's no big deal. The restaurant ain't going to fall down because you got to remake a hamburger. But putting your mouth and spitting on the food and then you film it, you think you deserve to keep your job? Hell no. You need to be fired. You need to give a public apology. You need to pay the restaurant back for the food that you spit on and the replacement. Your ass needs to be on probation, court costs and fines, and nobody needs to hire your ass. How about that? Because see, you working fast food, you're not going to use that anyway. Now, if you've been a manager for a while, you need that reference, but they're going to know. Once your name gets in the arrest paper, they're going to run your background. They're going to see, oh, well, you've been arrested for felonious behavior in a restaurant, misdemeanor, whatever they want to call it. What you going to tell the new place during the interview? Well, we read your background and we see that you were arrested for tampering with food. What's that all about? Well, you see, he made me mad, and I licked his French fry. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in. You have a wonderful day. God bless you on your journey. Bye, Felicia. Oh, I really want you all to think about what I just said. Licking the customer's food and filming yourself doing it. And you think you're going to keep your job. Oh, you can't keep the job because the company going to get sued anyway. And guess what? They want to make sure your little happy face has been properly removed from the premises. Now, before I actually leave this live, I'm going to say this. The problem with what's going on with social media and filming, and especially dealing with food, it's all these young people. A lot of the people are very young. They're very dumb. They're very ignorant. And you're also seeing people who are older than 20-something participating in this outlandish behavior. 30-year-olds, you know better. Like the group they had at the Chick-fil-A dancing. You're on the clock working. You want to make a video of you all dancing? Do it when Chick-fil-A has closed the doors. Dance while pushing the broom and the mop. Before you open the store, you want to dance, play a little music on the intercom before the customers come in. You want to film yourselves. Okay, but do it while the doors are closed and you are not open for business. You feel the need, you want to dance. You want to show that you're in your Chick-fil-A outfit. You are humbled and happy you work for Chick-fil-A. Well, guess what? I bet you none of you little blackbirds work for Chick-fil-A now. Shut your mouth. As somebody had said under that video. And you know they are Christian establishment. Honey, they don't care about them people being Christians. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's nothing but young people working in these restaurants. If you go to any McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, they are young people. Some of the people might be in their 40s because they've probably been working for years and they just ain't left the job. But a lot of people who work fast food, they are children, teenagers, and young adults. And these people are silly. They're petty. They don't have manners, and they don't have boundaries. And they don't mind talking on the phone while taking your order, leaning across the counter. I see a lot of that, which is very unsanitary. You leaning across the same counter like you're tired, the same place where the food is being set. And although the food is in a bag or on a tray, it's still unsanitary. You leaning across a counter with your bare arms out. If you are sleepy, you need to check out and go home and go to bed. How about that? People are just rude now. As I said, no proper training, no manners. And some people can't think for themselves. They do whatever other people do. Such as that incident at Chick-fil-A. Oh, it was some type of boob challenge or something. Where everybody had to jump up and down and touch and shake their breasts. And the sad part is that the ringleader is a guy. And I think we all know him ain't got no boobs. Him a wannabe girl. Shut your mouth. So how foolish do you look, a black man instructing your employees to jump up and down on a live video, dancing, touching their boobs? How stupid do you look? And how stupid were you to go along with the act? Because I was told, baby, I'm trying to keep my job. I'm not getting ready to film myself touching my boobs. I don't give a damn if the manager asks me to do it. Because in the end, I bet you not one of them have a job at Chick-fil-A. Not one. That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Drop your comments on my community page where I give you updates to breaking news. If I do not make a video about the latest developments in the story, I will post a video of relevancy. But I will always make a short if I don't go live on an update. Follow me on the Newsbreak app where I give similar commentary. I am also under IG, on IG with the same name. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome to the live stream. Thank you for the super stickers. God bless all of you. Please stay safe this weekend if you're going to travel. And once again, Sue, if you're listening, hope you're well out there in Iowa helping your son set up his new home. Congratulations to him on his journey. And just keep me posted on your visit out there. She said she's going to probably go to Home Depot tonight, get some flowers to plant outside of his house. Sue likes flowers, and I don't care. He probably don't even care nothing about no flowers. You know, he's a guy. I said, well, since you like flowers, just get him a real one and put it in the bathroom. A bathroom always needs some greenery. Put it on the back of the commode. He's a guy. He ain't gonna care. He's got a lot of sunlight. She sent me a picture of his bathroom. So he's got a nice window by the shower. So he could get a little stand and put underneath the window and put a nice plant right there and crack the blinds and, plant could get some sunlight. Love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting this network. Once again, welcome all new subscribers. Hit that like button, show some love, and I'll be back possibly tomorrow with some more stimulating content and commentary. And as most of you know, Mr. Murdoch, he is getting a chance at a retrial, all because of that stupid clerk lady who decided to intervene herself with the jury, making negative comments about Murdoch, also writing a book in the meanwhile while still being a clerk. She knew better, and now she's in the hot seat as well. See, this goes back to what I talked about on this network today. People don't know their boundaries. And then they cry wolf later when they're caught. You have to think before acting. She was an older lady. She is an older lady. She definitely knew better. She had no business talking to the jury members, meeting with them, talking with them after court, going in the room when they were eating lunch, those type of things we heard she did. She knew better. And she's now caused the system to overturn his conviction, and he gets a new trial. This is a waste of taxpayers' money. But this is what happens when you have a busy bee who wants to be seen, wants to be the center of attention. She's trying to live out some dream she's probably always had of making money, being known for something, selling a story. Well, now she's in the hot seat. You see, every action has a repercussion at some point. And Murdoch might actually be thinking, I might get free. I might walk free. No, bruh. You know walking free. You might be the talk of the hour, but bro, you're not going to walk free. Nobody's going to let you post no bond and walk free. Because you don't deserve to walk free. I do believe you unalive your wife and son. I believe that. And I believe you were, it still is, a drug addict, a greedy whoremonger. You deceived your clients. You deceived the company you work for, the law firm. You deceived your wife, your children, the community. I believe you are a fraud. And, excuse me, I would not trust you walking free. And I don't think he has any money. As somebody was saying in a news commentary the other night, does he even have money to pay the lawyer? What is the lawyer getting out of this representation for Mr. Murdoch? I don't know. Might be pro bono. But the point is, it costs to do business. And it'll be very interesting if Murdoch looks up and he has another attorney because he doesn't have any money to pay the current one. What a travesty that this case has been turned over, this conviction. All because of a little busy Karen. This goes back to what I've discussed during this live. Sometimes you have to know your place and you have to sit down and be still and keep your mouth closed. You can't do and say what you want all the time. Because now look at the payout. So now we have to ask the clerk, was it worth it? All that meddling during the trial, meeting with these people in secrecy to write a book, was it worth it? Thank you for your time. You've been listening to the Pod Excel. Thank you.